So Stephen, obviously very disappointing last night against Crewe. How do you make sure that doesn't happen again on Sunday against Doncaster?
Yeah, very disappointed. We can't take away the result, certainly. The goals were poor that we conceded. And we've said it all season, we need to defend better. As I say, people have been punished at this level that they weren't getting punished at before. We're looking to wheel and deal and try and do some business before the game at Doncaster. It's not as easy as people think. It's very, very difficult to track them players. Everyone's after the same players, unfortunately. We've all only got a certain amount of money. I speak to David at Crewe and we're all fighting for the same players. My biggest disappointment was probably, as we spoke about, the 8 minutes extra time and we didn't lay a glove on them, didn't lay a finger on them. We need people to stand up and be counted, and it's not from want to try, and we're working ever so hard to try and make that happen. And we have to go again. Now we'll see characters. We need people to stand up and be counted, and we'll see the characters on Sunday.
So you would like to get fresh faces in before Sunday? It's that quick?
Yeah, I'm desperate to get people in. I make no secret of it. We have defended poorly all season. We are 1-0 up. We start the game really, really well. We have a player facing away from goal on the touchline. He ends up crossing the ball inside our 18-yard box. So that can't happen. 5v2 in the box for the goal. It's criminal defending. And we need to put a stop to that sooner rather than later. Or people that are in the building need to step up, and they have done that on certain occasions. They've proved they can play at this level, but consistency is the key. As I say, it was a big game, and it looked like a big game for a lot of players. If you can't play in front of 4,000 people, then it's a problem. There's going to be bigger arenas, bigger stages. But pressure works in different ways with different people. Some rise to it, some crumble to it, and a few just went under a little bit last night. So you have to work differently as a manager. You have to put an arm around some people. You have to give some a little boot up the backside and hope you get a response to it. And that's what we're trying to do over the coming 48 hours.
You said some of the players who might seem to be struggling at this level can play at this level, but your comments after the game seem to suggest that you actually think some of them just aren't up to it.
Well, over 6 months now, some have proved on periods that they can play at this level, but playing consistently at this level and being consistent for 90-95 minutes in games week in, week out is difficult when some of them haven't played at this level. So yeah, there's certainly, I make no bones about it, there is players that I believe have struggled at this level. We signed what was available. Nobody ever signs exactly what they want. We signed what was available very late on, and we signed 19 players, I've been told. So there was obviously some that weren't going to meet the standard. We're well aware of that. Believe me, we're well aware of who is the standard and who has struggled to maintain consistency at this standard and showing flashes of brilliance, but on other occasions being caught out. So, you have to work with those players, try and get them up to that level. We signed them, so we have to try and make them better. But there's some we will try and move on. Make no mistake, I will try very hard to move some people on and bring other people in.
You said you would probably have booed the lads off last night, as a lot of the fans did. A lot of the criticism was about attitude as much as ability. Does that bother you? The fans were saying that they didn't look like they wanted to play. They weren't in the right frame of mind.
Yeah, listen, that's year in, year out, you get that. I think what I have to pay compliment to, the fans got right behind the team for 90 odd minutes. They expressed their views after the game, which is what you should do, and we deserve that. I live in the real world. I'm a very down to earth person that understands people want to see fight and passion and desire, and I think you see me in the touchline, I think I try and give that. I try and drive people. There wasn't enough of that. Certainly wasn't enough of that. So I agree to an extent. Sometimes, especially with younger players, fear is different than not trying. And there was players playing with fear, not wanting the ball, not wanting to give the ball away, not wanting to make a mistake, and sometimes that looks like you're not trying. But there's no excuse for not chasing balls with 5-6 minutes left. No excuse to not to run into corners. People make mistakes and not react to that mistake. There's no excuse for that. So them players won't play.
No Cole Stockton last night. How is he?
Cole hopefully will join in lightly today, train fully tomorrow and Saturday. So contrary to some reports, he's not going anywhere. Hopefully he'll be fit and available for Saturday. You've seen that without him, we struggled to get hold of the ball. And in John's defence, he's still come back from a real serious injury. And he'll get better. We have no doubt about that, but it will take time. But, we're desperate for Cole to be fit, and we're quite confident we'll have him and Alfie McCalmont back fit again. Hopefully I can get Shane McLaughlin back in his right position again if we can get players into midfield, because we certainly miss his drive and energy in there. But we have very limited options with Ryan Cooney being in hospital. He's out of hospital as well. We'll come in on Saturday. Whether he's able to play, in a really high intensity game with the illness that he had, I'm not so sure.
So you think Cole Stockton will still be a Morecambe player come the end of the window?
In football you can never be certain of anything, but we're under no pressure to sell him. I'm under no pressure from the board to sell him, and nobody's come and spoke to me, not one phone call, not one inquiry. So yeah, as confident as you can be with a club of our size. You're always open to bigger clubs coming in and bidding, but yeah, I'm quietly confident that Cole will be here. There's been absolutely no contact whatsoever.
So Ryan Cooney out of hospital with his tonsillitis, I think it was, probably not ready for the weekend. Any other injury concerns as well as Cole that you mentioned there?
Cole, as I say, hopefully be fit. Alfie McCalmont hopefully will be back. He trained yesterday. Hopefully he'll train again today and be fully fit. Scott Wooten's not available. Courtney Doofa's not available. Freddie, we've spoke about at length, he won't be available for quite a few months. And Adam Phillips went off with, was a real concern for us, because Philo was just starting to play to the quality we know he has. The back five suited him a little bit more because it gives him more freedom to not be quite as disciplined and express himself. But it's a real concern for us. He went off injured. We'll have a scan this morning, and we're not overly hopeful on that one.
So finally, the message to the fans will be taking their seats, taking their place on the terraces again on Sunday.
Yeah, look, keep believing, keep behind the boys as they've done. As I say rightly, they got right behind the boys, they encouraged the boys. And I'm the same, if somebody doesn't run after a ball and chase lost causes, we deserve stick. You deserve that. That's what people want to see. They work hard. They want to see desire. They want to see people playing for the badge. And there was certain occasions in the last 8 minutes where, that was the case where people didn't chase lost causes, so they won't play again.